Many House members joined the call for Bonnen to resign just in the past few days. Others made that call weeks ago. Joining us for perspective is State Representative Kyle Biedermann, a Republican from Fredericksburg. You were among the first House members to call for Bonnen to resign. Why did you decide to make that early action?
Well, as soon as I heard about the tape and the ability to go listen to the tape, I drove to Austin immediately because it's important. We need to know exactly what happened, and especially when we got emails first from our speaker directly to the House members denying any wrongdoing or denying any of the things that were really on the tape. It was important to find out for sure. So when I heard the tape, it was quite obvious what had happened.
Yeah, when you heard the tape, I mean, did anything surprise you? I mean, there was surely something there that kind of was not what you were expecting.
Well, I was just in session the whole time with Speaker Bonnen. I would never have thought those things. I know Speaker Bonnen speaks his mind, and of course he said a lot of those things that he's, the way he talks, but the things that are on the tape were very, very detrimental, and the things I didn't expect to hear. But the worst part was just the dishonesty toward members, and then the dishonesty toward the state of Texas with the denials and not telling the truth. That's what hit me the most.
What was particularly the most offensive thing that you heard on that tape?
Well, I would think what's probably the most detrimental, so many, I don't know how I could pick just one, but the fact of we had just passed a bylaw, which I was against, that we would not be able to campaign or should not campaign against sitting members, even Democrats. At the end of the session, Speaker Bonnen was bold enough to even say we even don't want to go against Democrats. And then here it is, not even a month later, a list of 10. And then, of course, the first question is, well, how many other lists would there be? Who's on other lists when you're talking to other either lobby groups or PACs or so forth? So I think that's the biggest one, just the dishonesty there toward members that we passed that bylaw and then they broke that bond right away.
Now, Governor Abbott released a statement after the announcement praising Bonnen for his role in conservative priorities like the Born Alive Act, cutting property taxes and putting Prop 4 on the ballot to give voters the chance to permanently ban a state income tax. What is about the recording that you see as overshadowing his accomplishments?
Well, it has nothing to do with accomplishments. The whole reason for the need to resign and to have new leadership is honesty, integrity, and that's the overriding thing. Did we have a good session? I believe it was a Republican light session, but I believe that Republican values and principles are what most of the people in the state of Texas are wanting, and that's what needs to be put forth. And I believe that we did an okay job with that this session. But I think we could do a much better job with that with the leadership of our governor, lieutenant governor, and new leadership in the House.
Yeah, who needs to be the next speaker?
Well, right now the next speaker needs to be somebody with honesty. Honesty is the word that keeps coming out. That is the biggest part of this whole situation is people expect honesty from their leaders. And with all the corruption going on in the United States right now and the federal government and so forth, we're sick and tired of scandals. And so we just need a speaker more conservative, putting forth Republican values. You've got to remember, every state official is Republican. We control the House and the Senate. We should be putting forth Republican Party platform issues, and we need a speaker that's going to put those issues forward, and that's what the majority of the people in the state of Texas want.
Who particularly in the membership do you think could fill that role well?
Well, we have a number of people. Right now, that's the discussions we're having. I've spoken to a number of members just in the last couple of days, and we have a great amount of people that have been there. The speaker doesn't have to have a lot of many years being in the legislature. In fact, I believe that's a disadvantage. The speaker's job is not to run and control and be a dictator of the House and all of the legislation. They should be facilitating members to allow them to represent their district and, of course, put forth Republican Party issues. Work with the Democrats, of course, but, we have a problem in Texas where we are Republican-led, and yet we give too much power and authority to the Democrat Party. You got to realize, if they ever get in power, they are not going to be giving all these chairmanships and all these abilities to raise money to the Republicans. So why are we doing that for the Democrat Party? And I believe that's one of the reasons we're not getting a lot of the legislation through that we should be getting through, being in control of the House and the Senate and the governorship and lieutenant governor.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yes.
What name at the top of your list?
Well, I don't have a name at the top. You know, that's the point. I mean, it'd be great to have a name. This came up so quickly. So we are, again, that's what in the meeting, on the caucus meeting on Friday, we knew what we wanted to accomplish. We wanted to communicate and cooperate with each other and get a plan forward. We never didn't think it was going to come this quickly on, well, we didn't get a resignation, which I believe after that statement yesterday by the speaker team, there is no doubt that there's been no true repentance or remorse in what was done, what the speaker had done. So it's more denials, blame game, and again, actually separating the members. These members are for me, these members are not. That's not unity. We need unity, and I spoke to the speaker at that meeting face to face and pleaded with him to be the leader that he should and can be, that we elected to lead us. And that's where we can have unity and strength. So finding one member and having a name right now is not the issue. What is important is for us to come together as a caucus and begin the healing process and having an agenda, a conservative agenda planned for 2021 to bring to our constituents and the voters of Texas.
So once everyone is unified and there is a new speaker in place, what do we need to do next session to make sure something like this doesn't happen? There needs to be more transparency, more accountability. How do you make sure that that doesn't happen behind closed doors anymore?
Well, you got to realize, unfortunately, politics is politics, but you know, it's really people's hearts. You know, you're either going to be, you know, honest and ethical in your heart or you're not, and then people blame it on politics. So what happens behind closed doors is a lot of things that are talked behind closed doors. That's not the issue. It's when you get caught, how you respond. That was what the problem is here. So for next session, obviously we've got a lot of learning experience here, and we see what we don't want. And again, nothing against Speaker Bonnen as a person. It's never personal. It's never about personality. It's only about actions and policy is where it should be. So next session, as I said, we want to find an honest person. And I can't say that we are always going to know that, but someone that's going to put forth Republican Party platform issues. And as I said earlier, we need to be promoting Republicans, not giving all this power to the Democrat Party. And that's who, if we do that, then I think we're going to have a great speaker and a great session.
Representative, thank you for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you too, Josh.